Okay. Okay, London, I said I was going to do this. So here's your video response to your video about rigor mortis or content versus makes no sense or a message was not meant for you or maybe just tied in together. Okay. Long ass title. Um, I'm gonna try to keep this brief because Alonzo's response that I just did was like 16 minutes. So I didn't expect it to be that long. So here we go. Um, you said if you live the same way for years and haven't changed, is rigor mortis set in or are you content? And again, I feel like your video, there's a lot of, there's, it's kind of like it can swing both ways because it could be that that person's content with the lifestyle that they've have because they've become accustomed to it or comfortable with it. Um, but I think it's a little bit of both because rigor mortis would have had to set in at some point for them to just be stuck in that same routine without any type of variation or anything like that. I feel like if you get to a point in life where you just do the same thing over and over and over again, it becomes unfun. You have to mix it up somewhat, and you can't always just do the same thing. So that's my answer for that one. And don't like being around people and enjoyed your own company. Are you a hermit or an introvert? I think you're an introvert because I don't even think it's you're not necessarily enjoying the company because I'm somewhat of an introvert sometimes. I think it's sometimes you just feel like being unbothered. You feel like being left alone. Not necessarily that, I don't want this person around me because, I don't like them or anything. It's just I don't want them around me because they're a person, period. I don't feel like being bothered right now. I feel like just sitting in my room and just writing or sitting in my room and listening to music or doing something that's therapeutic to me without any type of interruptions. So I think it makes you an introvert. Um, if you're considered different, always stuck out, but were an introvert, are you a freak or spectacular? Well, since this applies to me, clearly, God, like every time I go out, people always stare at me, and I'm just like, I've never quite understood it. Um, and I don't wear um, necessarily gay, what society deems as gay clothing. Well, society now is just like the same clothing or whatever because the straight boys wearing it too. But anyway, we're not even gonna get into that. That's a whole other video. But just I don't know what it is. And growing up, I always felt like I was a freak, or that they knew about my sexuality. That was the biggest thing. I always was so scared, like, oh my God, they can see that I'm gay, or they can just pick up on it just by looking at me. But I don't know. It's just I think it makes you spectacular because usually when something catches a person's eye, it's not necessarily in a negative way. Um, I mean, it can be in a negative way. I mean, the pendulum kind of swings both ways. But I think it makes you spectacular because people are even taking the time out to notice you. Okay. Um, what if I was talking, what if two people were talking and I didn't understand anything the person was saying? Was it meant, am I dumb? Or was it meant, or was what they're saying meant, okay, I'm sounding ignorant. Or is what they're saying not meant for me to hear? There we go. Here we go. Alright. So I think it's what they're saying is not meant for me to hear. Because sometimes you can listen to people, but you don't hear them. Or you can hear somebody, but you aren't listening. I think there's been a lot of times where I've said things, and people, I thought they got it, but they really didn't get it. Because I can tell by their actions or by how they conducted themselves after I said what I said. Um, so I think sometimes it's just not meant for that person to hear or to understand or to believe or, the list can go on and on. Um, So I think that's what I think about that one. Um, if you walk down the street and saw a stranger, and they were sad, and you want to offer words of encouragement, but you don't, is it that you're an asshole, or are you broken? I think it can be both, because I know it's like me. Like some days, if I have money on me, I usually always give to the homeless or to somebody that needs it. Like if I just got paid, or if I stumble upon some money, I always try to give $1 or two, or five, to a person that's on the street that's less fortunate than I am. And I feel like sometimes people get so wrapped up in their own problems that they forget that you're not necessarily going through the toughest thing in the world right now. Or if you are going through the toughest thing in the world, okay, we understand that, but do something to better it. Don't sit around and just wallow in that type of pity, because all you're doing is self-destruction. You're destructing yourself. Um, so my solution to that question would be, if you saw somebody walking down the street and you were sad and they were sad, definitely try to offer them words of encouragement, because what they say back to you might encourage you, and then you both will solve each other's problems. I didn't think of that, did you? Now. Okay. Um, if you met someone and they had all the answers to the questions in life, but you refused to hear the answers, are you ignorant or happy with not knowing them? I definitely think you would be happy without knowing them, because I think a lot of people like me, I don't necessarily understand everything that's happened, but I know they've happened for a reason. And for someone to give me all the answers at this point, it would kind of suck the fun out of living, because it's kind of like a movie that you've watched over and over and over again, or a TV show that you've watched over and over again. You're not watching it anymore because you're excited about it, or you're jazzed up to hear what's going to happen next. You watch it just to relive the memories. And I feel like life is one of those things, one of the rare things on earth that is ever changing and always evolving. And if we all knew what was coming next, how would we live? There would be no purpose to live, because we would already know, okay, well, so-and-so is going to get into a car accident on this day, so let me prepare myself, let me numb myself to that pain. Life is full of everything, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the sacrifices. So I think that the person who's ignorant would be the person who wanted to know all the answers. So there it is. I hope this is under 10 minutes. Okay. Thank you, London and Alonzo and all the 5 black guys. I think this was a great topic. And as I stated before, I don't know. I was wondering if or how the general public or your subscribers know what the topic of the week is. Are we just supposed to follow the trends, or because most of the time I get it, but sometimes I don't. So I was wondering if there's like a weekly video. Have I been missing it? Because I'm subscribed to you guys, so I shouldn't be missing it, because I watch everything. I'm like a 5 black guys crackhead or something. But yeah. So there you go. Bye.